So guys, today back in a video on the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to my Premier League prediction at the start of the season. There is a couple of shockers, but overall, yes, I'm not going to get 20 right, but I think I've done pretty well. Yes, there is a couple of shockers, but I've done pretty well. Before I start the video off, if I've predicted your team lower and they finished higher, I'm sorry, right? But anyway, before I start the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow my Instagram and all that in the description, and let's get into it. So we'll start off with the relegation spots. 20th position, I said Cardiff City. They finished 18th. They took it to a lot longer than I expected them. They didn't make the signings in the summer. Yes, what we all know about the Emiliano Sala tragedy, which was terrible. But Cardiff got relegated. They got absolutely shafted in some games. The Chelsea game at home, the Burnley game away. That should have been 6 points and they should have survived. And I think Brighton, from performances in the 2019, deserved to go down, but Cardiff, I predicted 20th, they finished 18th. In 19th position, I did predict Huddersfield Town. It's been a shocking season for them. They've got 3 wins in the whole season, and they finished 20th by a long way. They got 16 points, and I think they'll have to focus on the Championship next year, try and get promoted again. If not, I think there'll be a Premier League Championship club for the next couple of years coming. And at the start of the season, this 18th position was really hard to predict. I said Southampton 18th, and I think if they kept Mark Hughes throughout the full season, yes, 100% they would have got relegated. But Ralph Hasenhüttl came in and absolutely stunned the show. He's worked really well for the players he has to cope with, and I expect Southampton to do a bit more better next season with obviously him manager throughout the full season. Tell you what, their kit for next season is disgusting, but Southampton finished 16th, so yes, looking on paper, 18th, 16th isn't that bad, but saying they would get relegated and they didn't, so it's not a bad prediction. But Southampton, I said they would get relegated. They should go on next season and do a lot better. And right lads, this is the first one we got correct. 17th position, where he said Brighton of Albion. They finished 17th, a really good start of the season, and ended it really bad. The old Swansea manager, Graham Potter, I think he's called, he's took over. I'm gonna make a, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will be making a Premier League prediction for next season, but I'm gonna do that at the end of the transfer window, so I know all the transfers, situations at all the clubs and stuff. But Brighton I got right, thumbs up for me. I'm going to not talk loads because I don't want to bore you, because you only want to know my prediction. 16th place, I said Fulham. I said they wouldn't have the greatest of seasons, but I think they had enough to stay up from the money they spent, and they should have stayed up. They should have got 12th upwards with the money they spent. They got 19th. They were the worst team in 2019. I think because Huddersfield still played well in a couple of games, just couldn't get the result because they didn't have the quality. Fulham got the quality, it's their defence. How many goals conceded? 81 goals. Jesus Christ. Everyone expected Fulham to stay up, but it's not a terrible prediction by me. 16th position, I've seen people put them 10th, 8th and stuff. Nah. I thought they would do okay. Stay up's good for them, and they didn't stay up. 15th position, I predicted Bournemouth. They finished 14th, so not that bad. Bournemouth, they should go on next season and do well. They've signed this player from Bristol already, so they should do well next season. Should have enough to stay up 100%, and anyhow, I do rate as a manager. I was close on this one too. Bournemouth only 1 place away, and the same with this one. Burnley, I predicted 14th, and they finished 15th. It was a good season by Burnley later up in the year. Start of the season, they were bottom of the league with us. We were struggling, and they've done really good in my opinion, Burnley, to pull it back. They won they were unbeaten in 2019 until they played Newcastle. And yeah, Burnley, I knew the Europa League would 100% affect them. What will happen next season with them, we'll have to see. But I was 1 position off. It was quite close. We'll have to see what they can do next season. When I looked back at my prediction, I thought this one was really bad, but I'm only 2 places away. 13th position, I predicted Watford. I thought they would definitely have enough to stay up. They've got some great players at the club, like Pereira, Delafeu showing his quality this season,
And obviously I know the lads from WD18 who we do previews for each other when we play each other. When you look on paper, it's not a bad position, 11th, 13th, so I'm getting a lot of them where it's like only 2 away, where you see most people getting like 6 away, 7 away and stuff. But yeah, I thought it would be a okay season for Watford, and they've done really, really well. Obviously got beaten in the FA Cup final. Watford, they should have enough to stay up next season. Will it affect them not getting Europe or not getting anything from the FA Cup? We'll have to wait and see. Right, this is one sort of bad one for me. In 12th position, I picked Wolves. Wolves finished 17th in the qualifiers for Europa League. Their first season back, I thought they would do the best out of the promoted teams, but 5 positions away, it's quite bad. It is quite bad. I think if you get 4 away, that's where you can look right wherever went wrong. But Wolves have done really, really well. 7th, they've sent some great players. Obviously, Raul Jimenez on a permanent. He's a fantastic player. Wolves need to improve on a couple of positions. Maybe take a new centre back to do better than Bennett or Cody. I think they'll probably change Bennett. But overall, Wolves had a fantastic season. In 11th, I picked Crystal Palace. It wasn't bad. They finished 12th. Crystal Palace, but there was a Zaha situation. Will he stay? Will he not? We'll have to wait and see. But Palace done really well, in my opinion. They caused a lot of threats to some teams, and that's because of Wilfried Zaha. If Zaha leaves and they sign a replacement who isn't like a Zaha, it could affect them next season. It really can, because he carries them a lot. In 10th position, I picked my team, Newcastle United. I thought we'd do 10th again from the season before to last season, but you know what? From what happened at the start of the season with the Ashley talk and all that, I'm really happy with 13th. It doesn't change our position going into next season if we finish 10th or not. But at the start of the season, we were shocking when Rondon was injured, when we just couldn't ping a ball together. And then when we got 3 wins in November, we started kicking on from there. And that Manchester City game really, really kicked off. And obviously, if you're new to the channel or you're not a Newcastle fan, I'm a Newcastle fan and I do matchday vlogs week in, week out. So Newcastle, I predicted 10th. It's not a bad position to predict them in, but we'll have to just see and wait what happens next season. In 9th position, I picked Leicester City, who did finish 9th. Second one, completely correct. I remember for the last couple of seasons, I've got Leicester right. I don't know why it happened. Like the season before, the 17-18 season, I got Leicester right. Must be a thing with Leicester. I just know more about Leicester than my own clubs. But yeah, Leicester finished 9th. It was a good season for them. They were going for Europe. They were only 5 points away from it. So if they beat us and got that win against Cardiff in the 30th of December, right at the end of the year, they could have got Europa League, but they missed out on it. Brendan Rodgers should do a good job next season with like Vardy, who's coming to the end of his career. They've got Maddison, who's absolute class. They've got to sign Youri Tielemans. I do know a class Leicester vlogger, the True Fox. If he's watching this, you absolute G. But Leicester got it right again, and maybe it's the next one I've got right too. And yeah, that is right. 8th position, I picked Everton, and Everton finished 8th. I thought they would have a good season, and they did. Only one position off 7th, and it was a good season for them. If they picked up that win against us, they would have got it because they've got a better goal difference than Wolves. So don't bottle it. But Everton, Martin Silva came in. He wanted to do a job that could get them in that channel. Now Newcastle, I'll talk about all that in a different video, but we apparently go for Europe next season, so we're going to have players like them, like Richarlison, with 40 million. Are we going to get players like that? I don't know. But Everton, 8th position, I've got it right. So 3 out of the 12 I've guessed so far, it's not bad. In 7th position, I picked West Ham. They signed some great players like Felipe Anderson. They've got obviously Arnautovic up top. Lanzini was coming back from injury. Yarmolenko until he got his horrific injury. Fabianski's done really, really good for them. Pellegrini's came in. He wanted to go for Europe. They're only 5 points off it, but next season, Declan Rice obviously getting his England call up, it'll give him more confidence going into next season, in my opinion. So West Ham could be the team, but I put them in 7th. Felipe Anderson, fantastic player for them, and yeah, we'll have to see what they can do next season. And now it's the big one. It's the top 6. Oh right, it's a tricky one to predict because anything can happen. The title race, the top 4 race, or anything like that. It's mad, right? So 6th position, I said Arsenal. I thought they didn't strengthen enough. They finished 5th, so only one away. I thought Mustafi was still in the team, Monreal was still in the team. Bellerin's had a decent season, but I criticised him at the start of the season. Xhaka, they need to improve next season because obviously they could potentially get Champions League football with the Europa League, but Chelsea have already guaranteed that, so that's the only reason Chelsea really want to win. But if Arsenal win the Europa League, they've got Champions League football, so I predict them 6, 1 position away, but it's so hard to predict the top 6, anything can happen. In 5th position, I said Spurs. The only reason was no transfers were made, and they were playing at Wembley, because Tottenham and Wembley don't really mix sometimes, but they finished 4th, they got their Champions League football, but it's a massive game for them in the next couple of weeks, a Champions League final against Liverpool, obviously. We'll get onto them in a second, but Tottenham, they've done well with the players they've got. They've got to sign players in the next transfer window. They've got to sign someone, like a big money transfer, like they could sign someone like Gareth Bale back. Anyone who's a big transfer, they have to make it. Only 1 position away again, but yeah, I've said it before, top 6 is hard to predict. In 4th position, I said Manchester United. They finished 6th, and it was a disappointing season. Lost so many games. I don't know how they got 66 points. They lost 10 games in the Premier League. They drew 9 and won 19. For a Manchester United team, that isn't good enough. All these people saying, oh, Pogba shit and stuff. You can see the lad's got quality, but with players around him, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, like Andy Herrera is leaving in the summer, but they give contracts to Ashley Young, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. That club's a joke at the minute for the size of it and the history it's got. They need to do something next season, in my opinion. And this one I got right as well. I said 3rd position, Chelsea. I just had that feeling that Sarri would come in and do a good job. You can see where he's went wrong and stuff, but he hasn't been a bad manager. Like, you can see he's got the quality and stuff, but next season, the transfer ban, they could potentially lose Hazard. They could lose a lot of players, so it's going to be interesting for Chelsea next season. If they get top 4 next season and lose Hazard, Sarri's got to get a lot of credit when it's due, because obviously the situation with Kepa and stuff was funny, but Sarri's, for me, he's not one of the best managers to ever bridge the Premier League, but he did say he needs at least 1 season with his squad. Now I've got high hopes for Chelsea next season. That's if Hazard stays, because if Hazard goes, Chelsea go out the Champions League. We'll have to just see, and we'll go on to the top 2 out of Manchester City and Liverpool. So as we all know, the title race was mad. Manchester City did win the league, and I did say Liverpool would win it. We'll talk about Manchester City first. I thought it would be a title race. I said that in the video. I said it would be a title race. It wasn't going to be like the 17-18 season, but what a title race it's been. I thought we done very well against Liverpool. Obviously, we beat Man City, but yet again, Liverpool were bottle jobs. Yes, I said it in the vlog, and you're going, oh, well, not bottle jobs. We're going to probably win the Champions League and Premier League. You bottled the league because Harry Maguire. End of story. You lost to a square head, right? I know we did, but you lost to a square head, right? He made you not win the league. Facts, right? I'm just never been a fan of Liverpool. Obviously, we're talking about Manchester City. Man, I thought it would be a title race. It would be nice to see maybe Liverpool win the league because they haven't won anything. But Manchester City have just got money. That's all it is. And I seen this video on Facebook I had when City won the league to Ajax, right? Yes, Ajax have got quality players and they're in a shite league. Man City were literally like fans. Like I could shout louder than the Man City fans, like celebrating their win when they went back to the Etihad. It was embarrassing. It really, really was. But Liverpool, I said, would win the league. They didn't. They've still got the Champions League to come, so we'll have to see what happens there. But that's going to be the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you want to see my prediction for the next season, it'll be out probably on the deadline day. So whenever that is, make sure I go and watch it. So anyways, people, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Social links in the description. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, thank you for watching, and goodbye.